All right. What's going on, party people? This your man Griff. So I'm on my way home. Had a couple of signings, one signing today and a couple of house inspections, and gonna take a quick little break, and then about 6:37, between 6:30 and 7, I'm gonna hop online with my channel members and meet up with them. So if you want to, chop it up with us, hit the join button down here, and all of that. And if you can't find it on your phone, maybe turn your phone sideways, but you'll see a join. You can also hit the little buttons off to the right, and sometimes it'll pop up that way. But you see join, hit that link, and join the channel membership and chop it up with us tonight. Not going to be on too long tonight, but we do want to hop on and have a conversation with the channel members and answer any questions they have. If you don't want to ever join the channel membership, not a problem. You got questions and sort of trying to get some answers, but nobody seems to want to just really help you without it costing you an arm and a leg. Well, I have a $10 option. For $10, you hop on, you click the link in the description, you get 30 minutes with me for $10, and we'll sit there and chop it up and answer any questions that you have. And I mean that with this business, answer any questions that you have about the business. And if I personally don't know the answer, we'll sit there and we'll figure it out. And if I have to take some time to go research it and come back with an answer, I will do that and get the answer to you. But one way or the other, I will help you get the answer that you need, because the key thing is you need to understand the business and you need to get questions answered that you have about the business to give you confidence to make, to stay with this business or even just to do it. So that's what I'm all about. So in the description and the pinned comment, you'll see the information there. And I do it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the evenings. The earlier you book me, the better. If you want to book more than one session with me, feel free. If you want to book back-to-back sessions, feel free, or multiple days depending on your schedule. But every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, starting at 9 o'clock, I believe, I think at 9 p.m., I do these sessions. And then if you go to the link, you'll read the reviews of the people who've attended and they enjoy it. We have a great time, and they get their questions answered. So that's what it's all about for me. But this is a great business, and it's a lot of ups and downs with it. And I won't even use the word unfortunate. It's not unfortunate. That's just the way it is. But if you can focus on understanding what you need to do in this business, you won't have a problem. If you focus on things that are outside of what you should be doing in this business, I promise you, you're going to get confused. You're going to get stressed. You're going to get really, really worried. And you're going to get anxiety, panic attacks, and anything else that's not good and conducive for success in business, because you're going to be overwhelmed trying to implement things that your heart, your spirit knows that you shouldn't be doing as a notary. So you got to focus on what is the key and core things for this business to be successful. And your success isn't just centered in marketing, but it's in the execution of what your assigned duties are. And I've talked to a lot of different people, loan officers and stuff. As a matter of fact, I talked to a corporate trainer today with the closing that I had at 11 a.m. this morning. Oh my goodness. We had to talk about notaries and stuff. She only deals with internal notaries for their bank. I didn't even ask her what bank or none of that. But she said she teaches them how to go through the loan documents, from a corporate side and from the lender side. And she said those people are having struggles just following simple directions. And it's amazing that, I was sharing with her some of the issues that we have in this notary business. And she said, well, no, you ain't supposed to be doing that, for as, trying to explain the documents and all of that. Her and her husband, they both understand the process. And they was like, well, if they got questions, they need to be getting with the lender. That's who they need to be talking to, the lender. They shouldn't be trying to get the notary to give them the yeses and nos to what's going on with these loan documents and this agreement that they're signing. I said, I agree. But you have people out here, you have these signing companies and sometimes title companies that want us to be in a position to save the closing. And as soon as I said that statement, her husband was like, no, you're not there to save. No, that's the lender's job to save the closing, to save the contract, the agreement, because they're the ones that's going in a contract with them. It's they're the ones who's saying, I want you to, borrow this money from me to buy this house. So it's their job to make sure that the stuff is done right and that the people have the right knowledge on it or understanding of it. So there's people out here who understand it. Unfortunately, y'all don't come across those individuals. And also, unfortunately, a lot of the people in our space are all saying the same thing. A lot of these trainers are like, come, learn from me. And I'm telling y'all, if y'all start asking them some questions to prove what they're saying, that as whether or not it's in line with your state law, I guarantee you're going to get crickets. They ain't got nothing to say. They can't prove it. And just a FYI real quick, this is a microphone, all right? Because I know somebody going to say, what is that on your string? This is a microphone. I normally have it down lower because everybody sees it. Hey, what's that? It's a microphone, okay? Microphone. So hopefully you're not hearing too much background noise or any at all. But that's the thing, so we have to, as a business owner, you're responsible for making sure you understand what your business industry or what your industry requires, what your business truly requires, and then go out there and make sure it's in your business and then you executing it on a consistent basis. And if you're doing that, then you're good. And there's always going to be somebody that's going to try to get you to do more than what you should be doing. Heck, you won't even do more in your W-2. So I don't understand why you're trying to do all this extra stuff just because you're now a business owner with doing notary. And you don't even understand what you're supposed to be doing as a notary fully, but yet you're trying to do all this extra stuff. But then in your job, you most definitely like, I ain't doing any of that. And I promise you, if you actually learn what you're supposed to do as a notary in your state, you will move away from trying to do the extra stuff unless you are operating in fear and concern that if you don't do extra, you won't keep getting these orders. If you don't do extra, they won't pay you higher or whatever. But there's no proof out there. There's no consistent proof out there that doing the extra actually provides you with more work, more money. There's small pockets of it with some people, but at the same time, doing so puts you in jeopardy if what they're asking you to do, this extra, is outside of your state law. So you're doing something that might be providing you a little bit more financial return, but it's putting you legally in jeopardy. And I've been doing some research for the Virginia Association of Notaries about bond insurance, because it looked like we're going to get that. From what I've been told, two things that I was told about bond insurance. One, that one company, they said they base it off of your credit score. So if your credit jacked up, that means you're going to be paying higher premiums. The second thing, and one of the members confirmed it, which I already believed it, but they acknowledged it, is that in some cases, like when you have done something wrong and the bond needs to get paid out, you have to pay that fee back to them. Meaning if you got a $15,000 bond and they had to pay $7,000 to fix whatever it is that you jacked up, you got to pay them back. So this is why it's very important not just to have the insurance, but to make sure that you understand how the insurance works, and that whatever you're doing out here as a notary, it don't put you in a situation to where a bond or your E&O gets paid out and then you have to pay that money back. Oh, three things I learned about bond. And another one that I learned, the third one, is that one bond company told me and I wish I could remember the name off the top of my head. It might have been suretybonds.com or something like that. That they do not, or either was it bond. I keep forget which one, but one of them told me that they don't provide bond insurance to notaries who are operating as loan signing agents. They said this is only for notaries, for people who are operating as notaries. So this is why I say you got to be mindful and careful about what you're doing and what you're calling yourself and who you're listening to, because you could get yourself caught up into something and calling yourself something that your insurance coverage does not cover. It's really messed up if you got insurance coverage, but you haven't read the fine prints and realize that they're only going to protect you and cover you if you're actually doing notary work. But if you're doing stuff out there within the confines of calling yourself a loan signing agent, they're not going to mess with you. And I know many of y'all thought I was crazy when I was saying stop calling yourself loan signing agents. You're just a notary. Do the research. Find out. Chat GTP it. How does bond insurance works for notaries? Do you have to pay in bond insurance? But if a bond is paid, do you have to pay it back? Some companies may say yes. Some companies may say no. Get on Gemini AI or DeepSeek AI and find out. Is my premium for bond insurance based off of my credit rating, my credit score? For one company that I talked to, they said yes. I was like, wow, okay, that's interesting. So you got a 200 credit rating, you're going to be paying some money for bond insurance. All right, let me go. I'm almost home. Go chill for a little bit and hop on. But yeah, if you're interested, want to hop on with us tonight, feel free to click the join button, be a channel membership. Matter of fact, I'll put the direct link to sign up for the channel membership in the description. And y'all have at it, but we'll pop on probably about 6:30, between 6:30 and 7 at night, depending on how I feel. I got to fix me something to eat before then. So I'm going to fix me something to eat. It depends on what time I sit down to eat, will determine what time we start, but no later than 7 p.m. All right. And we're just going to talk about whatever you got going on, whatever questions you have, all of that. And if you do join the channel membership, hey, you can cancel anytime and all of that. So this isn't something that you have to stay with for the rest of your life. All right. Y'all have a good one. See y'all in a bit. Peace.